Malanga lamahle welcome back selesiqhubeka nalo luhlelo kusile breakfast show kungumsombuluko sanimukela maswahleni sanza kulela wona umsakazo waDo Tithombe nasetinkundleni tefute kuxhumana siyabanga kakhulu ukuhlasana nathi siyathemba silanibukela khona kusile breakfast show nifuthumele malanga lamahle sethembisile ukuthi lesikhathi lesi tabe sinalo libandla lechwisa eMaswati ngabokuqala bendeka bongqongo umshina icyber security outreach and awareness group ukhona nokuthula hlophe unaye Gugu Nkambule but osikhwisa kabani sengabe nasikhuluma ngenzaba screen time sikhuluma ngani kithi thina bantu labadzala ikakhulu kade senda njani phela ngibonakala ngani nakwenza ukuthi I'm spending most of my time ngik TV noma ngisecingweni bayaveta ke bochwephesha thide ukuthi 58 times ukhanza ukuthi umuntu uphenza thinza licingo lakhe 30 times la khanza ukuthi khona umuntu ufana ngabe focus ekhona emsebenzini but nje ubusy ngelicingo lakhe sabe bathi ingabe vele lama signs abonakala ngani moving forward ngakhona kanjani phela singiconnect control athi icingo lami ngalithinzi 58 times per day ngakuthola nawe Gugu welcome to our show
sosela samkasiwe
ngidovele ngicale ngawe nokuthula sikufike iCovid siyashinja maybe indlela lesikhathi lesispenda ngayo icingweni isikhathi lesi even lesibukela ngayo iTV nesikhuluma ngescreen time sikhuluma ngani
nasikhuluma ngescreen time ngivusele nebabukele ekhaya nasikhuluma ngescreen time sikhuluma ngelesikhathi lesisipendako khona la incingweni tethu kubongqongo umshini soloko sibuka that is what we call screen time and vele uqinisile lokuthi sekunyukanyukile nami nje ngidibukile itonga ngakhanza kuthi hayi sengiyahlala ecingweni bo 4 hours which was not happening before COVID but now I'm more into my phone I browse a lot yes so that is what we call screen time
nasikhuluma ngekuthi lo muntu then Gugu digital connected yet socially disconnected what are we talking about
siyabonga sesamkasiwe sibongelele umbukele ekhaya nasikhuluma ngalo kuba digitally connected siyati ukuthi i-digital age ite nemathuba lamahle kwenda ukuthi sixhumane ngetindlela etinyende etinkundleni tekuxhumana kodwa iphenze yasenda sabanhlalo nhlalo njengokuthi ukhanza ukuthi abantu sebahlala kakhulu la kulama gadgets abo abasasithola isikhathi lesiningi sekuthi bangahlanganyela babe socially active and you'll find that lo munye umuntu akasakhona mhlawumbe ekusidakala it has promoted a lot of loneliness and it has caused most people to be anxious yabanga netifo letinyende efaka bo depression and you find that nawuhleli ngale ngemva kwe computer you find that you are not so you are comfortable in even saying something that is narcissistic lokusho ukuthi kulimata abantu ngendlela lebe ungeke uyende nangabe usembe kwakhe ukhanza ukuthi bamfu sebayakwenda lokho banganaki lokunye you will find that umuntu ngalesinye isikhathi utakulimata but lokulimata kwakhe bekungasinhloso yakhe ngalokuthi le social interaction nale face to face interaction le physical interaction seyilimete indlela thide it has also decreased our social skills bunfu sekusilahlekele ngenzaba ekusebenzisa i-digital noma ama-technological devices
lo munye will argue maybe nokuthola athi lesikhathi lesi ngiyafuna kwade kuna COVID ngiyafuna kwade kuthi kwentekana around the world ngiyafuna kuba thema cases kanjani hence ngispenda isikhathi esiningi loyo 4 hours ngisecingweni lami
okay so it's true that right now especially along as COVID we want to know what's happening out there ngoba vele si disconnected it's not like before where besikhona khuluma nebantu and interacting with people so yes ungahamba ungene on the internet ubrowse but nakhona lapho tindzaba te-COVID tibe tingakhi nje ngokuthi kunema cure ma remedies I think ama remedies kumbe abo 50 abo 100 do you even verify ukuthi le remedy le lengifunze ngayo lena ikufanele yini ukuthi ngiyende uyangena kubo WHO who releases the tindzaba te health uchecke lokuthi vele should I be doing that or should I be taking that kind of medication to vele kufuneka ukuthi every time uma singena because we tend to absorb a lot of information we need to verify that information is indeed true kunema websites longakhona kungena kiko uchecke ukuthi vele kuliqiniso noma kusiko liqiniso so yes there are those tools that are available on the internet kuchecka ukuthi vele yonke lemvo lena lengibhizi ngiyibuka khona la ku internet kungiko yini. However, having said that, let's say sesikhuluma ngalo ukuthi uya verify le information lokuthi nje uhlale isikhathi lesithe khona la ecingweni lakho akusiyo info le ngathi ikahle. I think Gugu explained what are the issues that you have that you get when you spend so much time on the screen. So ufuneka sitibuke mina nje like I was saying ngenile lana ngoba phela siya prepare for it ngiyangena ngithi yeguga suthi ngitibuke vele nami ngithukile ngokuthi so much time I spend so much time on the phone and angicabanga so now that I'm conscious that I'm spending so much time on the phone and I know ukuthi okay maybe ngibuka TikTok or Instagram I will move all those apps because kufuneka bese siya detoxa siya declutter digital ngimove le app imanage bekhashanyana ngingathi ngithina ngithi ngipressa icingo lami nje nango Instagram vele ngoscrolla yes so it's a gradual process but naso conscious of how much time you're spending on your phone and what it is that you browse then you can take steps towards addressing that
asingene then ukuthi ngwaphi some of these effects ekubonakala ukuthi yathi isikhathi lesiningi vele ngispenda on the phone ispenda maybe on TV as well.
You will find that kunema issues sleeping problems lapho uyabona so uhlala utsiniwe because you're always spending much time on these platforms. That is one effect. Lenye effect, you'll find that you are now having eyesight problems. Kind of got dry eyes, sobulawa inhloko, letinfo leto lokunye noma kungeke kubonakale ngaleso sikhathi you'll find that in the long run you are going to have health issues or back pain. And we know that when we are so engrossed in our digital devices, you find that awunaki lokunye njengendlela lodla ngayo. You'll find that you are just eating absent-mindedly, and that will eventually lead to obesity. So there are so many repercussions. There's one, well, I would call it an illness. Well, it's not an illness. And we normally use our thumbs. Then it has been termed as a smartphone thumb. You'll find that the tendons are limala in a way, and you will have pain. And in the long run, it might develop into arthritis. So we encourage that to avoid those things, unhealthy happening, no matter taking a toll on our lives. Detox, as Sis Noctula has mentioned, take a break from your gadget and somehow get to have those physical activities that are going to go maybe the whole day browsing or playing games, get active in one way or the other. And it has been advised by experts, let us try and remove the gadgets maybe from the vicinity laslala corner because the blue light but it affects the natural cycle yeglala. So to avoid all those effects ekusebenzisa gadget kakhulu, try and remove it and you won't really miss that much by just
and we have my TV screens in my bedroom as well.
True. Try and avoid that because you might never know. There's so many researches that have been done. I would say, how does it affect impilo yemuntu? So let us try and use it as minimalistic as we can. We know that COVID fine is saying otherwise.
Umsebenzi omkhulu nokuthola nilibandla kusifundisa sivese eMaswati ngoba ngiyacabanga na ungathi nje uyathatha some sort of maybe research bangakhe bamhlabala netincingo phase emicamelo bangakhe bamvula banema TV screens ekamerweni labo vele sesijwayele ukuthi hayi ngidawutelela khona ngidawulaliswa ngiyo so umsebenzi lese kufanele ukuthi inwende emnengi kakhulu
and uqinisile Sam vele kuningi lekusafuneka sikwende because in as much as sithi buka lokhu vele the reality is nangabe ngilele ngiyabekisa ngisathanza kula nge-TV ngabe ngilele TV on at some point ngidawuva lo msindo at some point ngidawuvuka ngithi kumbe ngiyabuka hawu nakuya BBC kwenteka
yebo siyabukela
it's 2 a.m. I have work at 6 how productive am I going to be I have to wake up at 6 ngiqala ukusebenza nga 8 how productive am I going to be so it ruins your entire cycle your normal productive cycle so yeah akusiko kahle vele sithi asi wakhuthatha eMaswati ukuthi bonani la ku the blue light la ebusuku try and put the devices if you know ukuthi okay yatini neku disturbeka because phela the reality of it is asingabeze sesidena ngazi ukuthi vele nje hayi asikahle and we can control it uyayibona ukuthi lemvo hayi ihle ingaffecta make sure switch off your phone noma at least ubrowse icingo lakho an hour before ulale and have that hour just to shut down normally yes sicime nala ma TV
Gugu asingene then ekuthenini if umfana nami ngimbona ukuthi ngathi so spend isikhathi sakhe lesinenge maybe on screen or even watching television ngimbona ngani.
Most of the times kanti sibambana vele naba especially nasibangena like adolescents, they try and keep away from the parents, but you might find that most of the time akasahlangani nani la maybe funa ngabe niyaxoxisana, so wativalele cameron, and most of the times ukhanza ukuthi vele bayadu silokule badivalele kona le cameron akusi
involonga advice abo sebawathatha la incingweni yabo mabatali babo sekusetingcingweni.
You'll find that they are engrossed in games, noma badlala ama games, even those games are so dangerous, to the point where they might even end up harming themselves in one way or the other. Ukhanza lo munye vele so ne sleeping disorder in one way or the other, lo munye indlela asadla ngayo akasatinaki, lo munye sohlala grumpy nje because lokuba kuma technological devices for quite a long time, it also affects your mood in one way or the other. So as parents, we should look out for all these signs. Ukuthi umfana umnake ukuthi what are they doing? That is the social side, and then there's the technical side where you have to find a way of monitoring ukuthi umfana yini la ibukelako uyibukela isikhathi lesingakanani, and if you can have parental controls ukuthi lokula kubukelako is it age appropriate, and you can verify whatever content that your child is on to. Goguti ingabe vele aiko explicit, maybe sexually, or aiko harmful to them in one way or the other.
Asingene nokuthola kune technical part uyayithinza Gugu ekuthenini ngikhona kanjani to control everything mepumfana nami la khona kuyibuka ko lokuyibona ecingweni.
Oh, okay. Kulokunye, especially on Android devices, I'll talk about Android because a lot of people use more Android. We do have Google, for instance. Google, you can set it up. Set up the account mpanako is below. Get my age brackets. Go to maybe between 9 and 12. Bese so yaksetha uthi manje ke okay ema games ema downloads anything lo mfana la browser bomcela abocela I permission la kimi. So lo mfana nakasebenzisa le device at any point because you've installed the parental controls. Good anything, even if I browse the internet, kutaba age appropriate lama results aleyo search engine la tawubuya kuyo. Even if angena ku YouTube utawubona lama video la appropriate for the age yakhe. Even if aya ku Google Play Store utawubona ema games la appropriate for the age yakhe. So siyakhuthaza abatali ukuthi manje ke those parental controls ngicela bawa switch on. YouTube naye unayo uyakhona kufika ngale ku YouTube uthi parental control kufake ukuswitch on kanjalo a whole lot of applications have that feature. So let us use the feature. And then there's privacy settings as well. La ungakhona khona ukuthi oh okay asesithi maybe it's a common shared computer, a family computer. And then you are using Google as a search engine. Uyakhona kufika lapha ku Google usethe la kulama settings ukuthi manje ke it should only search for what should I call it, safe sites. Yeah, safe browsing. Uyakhona ukusetha on those browsers. So asikusebenziseni leto timpo leto ngiyati ukuthi thina sometimes siyavila lapha lokungena lapha kuma settings Facebook but banfana bethu they should not be exposed to everything. Yes, the internet opens up the world, as in we learn a lot. Kunebuhle bakhona but kuphinze kube nebungoti bakhona. Let us use the technology to try and control and sifake onke lawo ma settings lafanele.
Nangibasikhathi sefuku before we go asingene ekuthenini nasikhuluma nge inappropriate content sikhuluma ngani.
Okay, nasikhuluma nge inappropriate content sikhuluma nje nge content lelimatako kungabe iyabandlulula ngabe iyalulata. Nasikhuluma ngebandlulula ke ku broad bandlulula ngetebulili bandlulula ngekwe race ngekwe religion nasithi inappropriate futhi sisho ukuthi ayikulungeli wena kule minyaka lonayo mhlambe ikhutsata ukuthi utilimade. You'll find that some people are engaged in dangerous games. Kunema challenges nje lesivame kwangenela lokho bese si ku lockdown TikTok ikakhulu beka hamba embili, and you'll find those games give you a series of challenges or of tasks where at the end you'll find that you have to probably then commit suicide. There's one that was popular, it's Blue Whale, and there's another one, Beiti Fire Challenge, where bantu batishisa on. So we should be so mindful of even the games that our kids are playing as bazama ukuthi bathi get away from the hustle and bustle of COVID. Yeah.
And then ku social media wethu nokuthula si enjoy kanjani and then ukuthi asifoli na inappropriate content la khuluma ngayo kuko.
Okay. Le inappropriate content la khuluma ngayo kuko on social media, for instance kubo Twitter, uyakhona kuyo settings zakho usho ukuthi you do not want explicit content, and noma ngabe bakupostiwe lemvo le explicit, you will not be able to see it because vele ema settings akho asho njalo. Kanjalo kuyahlukana kulama platforms njani, like I made an example ku Facebook. Na ku Facebook uyakhona ukuthi you don't want anything explicit, and then you will not get explicit content. So we need to use lama settings, lama privacy settings iswasete, so that we don't see all these things. Si block and pop-ups is well kakhulu futhi size sithole nale content pop up na info nayi uclick awubona lokuthi uclicka in, and then ukhanze ukuthi seya redirector you redirected to an inappropriate website kanti lemvo bongakafuni kuyibona. So as blockena nalama pop-ups kukhona lo khona kukwenda on the browser ufike uthi manje ke block pop-up. If that website is safe and you trust the source, kutakshela lapha etuni ngokuthi manje pop-up blocked. Do you want to allow this pop-up, or do you trust the site? Uthi ke wena allow. Now ngabe awubona ukuthi kuyini vele ungachafati. If you're not sure, do not click.
Yeah, inzaba yema pop-ups akuku sithini ke nasikhuluma ngabo bamphana umphana ngicinga ngiyathatha ngimnike nami lecinga ngel understand angeke ngize ngikhona maybe ngena kula settings la washo ngilokhona kumbona la washo nokuthula ngilokhona kumbona ukuthi hayi man lo mfana le content la sayi consumer ka social media ayisiyo sengiyambona maybe ngekushintsha kwakhe.
Yes, njengoba ngishido sisi samkasiwe ukuthi vele asihlale sigadzile sibadali ukuthi bamfa bethu indlela leba behavior ngayo ayisashinji kulena lesiyitayela ngoba lomnye umfana uyambona nje ukuthi mhlawumbe bese kabukela tinto letingesito and kuyabalimata kakhulu bamfana, and it's so confusing. That is why if maybe umfana esekwendekile waba exposed to leyo explicit content, take steps as a parent to address that. Seek counseling and try and talk to them as well ukuthi how does that affect them lokho lebakubonile, because imvamsa yesikhathi sivame kuyekela kuze ingodo yengceyindlela. We should try and jump on to action quickly. Lokunye ngiyabekisa uyamniketa umphana khona lucingo uyati ukuthi icingo lwakho lune content lengasiko kahle. I would advise lokho ukuthi try and block phela lawo ma contents lo wade ukuthi umfana akho sesibatusa ngedingcingo.
Yebo phela
akangadi khanzi umfana sekawelela ku that probably sexually explicit content, go block and find a way ngokuthi nase kwendekile umsita kanjani lo munye udawukhanza ukuthi mhlambe lo mfana akho nguye lona lo postile le explicit content on social media. You need to do damage control as a parent. You need to have a way of probably deleting that post, or maybe kwakona lok delete akusiko effective enough because we all know that there's a digital footprint. Lo shothi kuyahlala lapha emhlabeni we social media. The safest way is to delete the account completely. Ingaze maybe say iba nema negative effects in the long run kanti uthi umphana akasawathole amathuba lamahle emsebenzi ngoba kuthi tena kusewa kuyahlolwa kakhanzakala ukuthi beka posta tinvo leti mbeka gabi esiven. Lokunye ke as a parent phela landzelela lokuthi umphana uyasitakala mentally alulele athole kwelulekwa ngekwetengcondo.
Now that you mention inzabe ukuthi nayo lomfana ukukhanza uthi post ngeke ngabona lenye ipost bayishareile recently kubunayo nokuthula labamfana bancane seba postene ekutheni nami ne relationship with bani yaqhamuka umntali uyaphemvula uthi uyabona wena Sam ngeke phela nize nikwende lokuni bancane le ndlela labamphemvula ngayo labamfana uyabona ukuthi batshela ukuthi bamfana nasesinemalungelo ufunani make ku Facebook wami ufunani nje ku content yami ka Facebook wamtshela umfana athi phuma bona ngidakubona ekhaya right now, this is my space. Sidila kanjani ke with that as parents?
Okay, it's a difficult one, but one umphana wakho uyamati bantfu bethu siyabati sonke. If umphana ngiyambona ukuthi maybe ungena teenage stage kanti uyanhlanhlatheka, is it okay ngokuthi lo mphana angene Facebook? That's the first question that you should ask, because some of these applications vele kwayena lo Facebook kwayena lo bo Instagram and whatever bayabhala lokuthi kule age le maybe 13 umphana angaqala abe nale account lona uyasuka lo maybe lo wami una 12 so ngena ku Facebook so ngendala letinto le 2 uyakhona lokuthi nalomphana well you are supposed to as a parent umbite nihlale phasi explainele umfundzise futhi ngokuthi okay khona la kule digital world kwenteka lokhu buhle bakhona nguloku naloku naloku and bubi bakhona nguloku naloku naloku. If you raise a child who is digitally who is digitally responsible, if I may put it that way, then lo mphana kuncane langakwenda loku bhekele eceleni in the digital space, because umfundzisile ukuthi uyahlonipha maybe la ku digital platform and so on and so forth. And then lokunye kwesi3 lengingakusho kubatali vele asibe active, let us know what our children are doing and let us have those conversations and openly talk about these things nebantfu bethu. Siyambona umphana vele ukuthi hayi akusasiko kahle, mkhulumisi umtshele ukuthi mfanami kuloku naloku naloku akusiko kahle. And now as a parent, if utawusuka bese soya poster you might fuel fire with fire. Nami ngiyakhumbula nje make sase teenage bekasathi yangithethisa ngingathi hayibo
exactly,
you know hayibo make. So imagine on the digital platform bangakhi labantu lababona lo mphana akuphendula kanjani. So we know ukuthi as parents sibantfu bethu sibakhuda kanjani, asichubeke even in the digital space asichubeke sibakhude ngalendlela le kufuneka sibakhude ngayo.
Gugu, what can you say before we go?
Kungaba nje ngosami ukukhuthata eziveni ukuthi i-digital age itenetinvo letinhle kodwa asizame kunaka ukuthi ayibese seyilimata timpilo tetfu budlelwane betfu nalabanye ngenzaba yabo fear of missing out sidikhanze ukuthi sesiyathatheka sesichitha imali letingekho sesigcina sikhuluma nakabi lokungagcina kusifakela ibishini ekugcineni.
Nokuthula
mina bengathanda nje ukukhuthata ababukele ekhaya ukuthi one asibanake abantu bethu ukuthi bendani in this digital era. Let us have open conversations with them about the dangers of being on online platforms nebuhle bakhona, and singabe sesibapanisha kwakona nangalelo cingo sesithathele icingo siya confiscate, because njengoma wadi if make athi hey ungathathi ungagcoka nasicathu vele uyafuna mani kusigcoka ngekhani. So let us handle those things correctly as parents. And then Pinze, when it comes to the screen time I think maybe we have mentioned ngokuthi akhona lama applications lokhona kubona khona ngokuthi okay ngihlala kanganani ku social media, ngihlala kanganani etincwadzini, ngihlala kanganani on the internet. Let us use those tools le available la cingweni lethu sibuke ukuthi oh okay mina isikhathi sami ngispenda lana, would I like to change that or would I not like to change that? And if I want to change that, let us do what? Digital lead detox.
Ladies, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.